Hey everyone. Welcome to the Fin Factor.
So,
We are live.
how are you?
We're going to just talk about Game of Thrones tonight instead. Like,
that was an
forget this.
amazing episode.
I actually haven't seen it. Oh.
No, I don't think any of us
My
have.
mic is muted.
There you go.
Thankfully, because I was
Paul.
swearing up a storm right there.
Paul,
Just kidding.
start over. Go ahead.
Start over?
Face palm.
Okay, hold on.
and
Ready?
Go.
Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Take it from the top.
Hey everyone. Welcome to the Fin Factor. Post-game live. Round 1, Game 3. I don't really know what to say. I know that there's a lot of comments coming in right now, and I know what the comments are talking about, and we will address that. However, this was just an ugly effort all the way around, I think. Like, the whole team just looked like they weren't not interested. I know that they are, and I know that they want to win, that they're trying and everything, but we were not fast to pucks. We just did not look good all the way around. So
I think the Sharks got a case of the Vegas flu.
Do you think so?
And just, I don't know. I don't know what's
No,
wrong.
I know.
They were flat. They weren't moving their skates.
Yeah.
They weren't. I was hoping and expecting the Sharks to be like the Game 1 Sharks that we saw, because usually they kind of bounce back after losses, especially with, hey, we're on the air. Especially after getting their, I don't think they got their butts kicked that much in the second game, especially compared to tonight. But
I still feel like the second game and this game is on the Sharks.
yes,
I'm not going to say Vegas didn't earn the win, but I'm going to say that the Sharks didn't do anything to stop them from earning it.
I think that's Vegas's MO. They're not a team that creates a lot of offense. They're a team that creates the other team to mess up, and they what do you call it? Capitalize on those turnovers and chances. And it's very frustrating to play a team like that and lose to a team like that, because it's basically the Sharks are beating themselves. They're not executing like we've seen them play in that stretch in January and February where nobody seemed to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting the Sharks to jump out the gate, and they look like that team in Game 1 for the most part, being able to just jump all over Vegas, and we haven't seen them be like that since then.
Yeah, I mean, and that's for me is the hardest thing. Is it's how this team can play, and then you get not the effort necessarily, because I'm sure the effort's there, but you get the performance that you got tonight, and it was, again, just all around lethargic, it felt.
Yeah.
We got outshot by a good margin, and we got out-hit by a good margin. Usually when you're out shooting an opponent, it means you have possession of the puck, and then the other guys are getting more hits.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe effort is the right word there. Maybe there was just a lack of effort. You heard Hedekin talking about it, saying, they're not making that hit. And there was a time where I even said it too. I said, Kane, you got to throw the body right there. And it was during the third period, and he had a chance to plaster whoever up against the boards and didn't. Yeah. And then a couple seconds later, Hedekin says it. You have the opportunity to do that.
If you look at last year, Kane threw out his shoulder hitting somebody in the first round, and he was useless in the not useless, but he was not himself in the second round. So maybe he's a little more conservative about it.
That's
someone
fine.
just said not create offense. Did you see the 6 goals? Now, I'm not saying they didn't. That wasn't my point about not creating offense. My point is they're not like the Sharks, or they're not like teams where they enter the zone, get possession, work the puck around, then score a goal. They're a team that high
Creates a
pressure.
breakaway.
They create odd man breaks,
Mark Stone,
turnovers.
we just went back and looked at this one. The 5th goal of the game was Sharks coming out of the zone, quick turnover, and it was just, Sharks got caught watching the puck.
Yeah.
And Mark Stone was wide open by himself to pull the puck out of Jones and then run over, so.
Yeah, I guess we got money again.
It hasn't even popped through yet on
Is
here.
that what that means?
That's funny. That's faster.
Again? Misfit. $10. Whoa, Misfit. Thanks, buddy.
I'm not seeing
And there's someone at Hillier, I think I
through.
saw. Let me give you a second here and say thank you guys so much for, oh my goodness, are you serious? Thank you guys so much for all this. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, Alan again.
Please do, because I'm not seeing any of this super chat pop up for some reason.
I think this is from last week.
Oh, that's too bad.
hey, you know what? We're reliving the good days.
Yeah.
No, we're reliving the good times right now is what it is.
We're reliving the good times? Yeah, that's what we should be doing anyway.
All right,
No,
go ahead.
Yeah, again, it just felt like the effort wasn't there. And I related to this, what I was talking about earlier. On paper, before the series started, I said, on paper, I just don't see it happening. The Sharks are a much better team on paper, save the goaltending, right? And I don't even think that Jones is horrible, and we'll get there in a second. I don't think Jones is horrible. I think he's good, but we keep putting him in situations where you would want somebody who's better. And I think the Sharks need to stop and admit that to themselves. Martin Jones is not an elite goaltender. Martin Jones is not a guy that you are going to trust with a breakaway, 2-on-1, not clearing rebounds out, You can't put him in these situations.
He will make the initial save. Not every time, but he will have a good chance to make that initial save, and then we're not clearing the puck out. And I said this before with Niemi. I was like, Niemi won the puck or the cup. Bring him in. Yeah, we're going to be fantastic. We're going to do great. Well, we don't have the Blackhawks defense either.
Yeah.
We're not clearing the pucks out from in front of Niemi.
No, I know, and that's what's frustrating for me is that we have really good defense. It's just we're not playing up to the level that I know that this team can. And yes, Vlasic being out hurts. It hurts a lot. He's probably our best defensive player when he's playing his game, and he wasn't there tonight. That's not an excuse. It's the way that the team has to have a mentality around it. Again, you have to admit, Martin Jones is not the elite goaltender that maybe you think he is. You shouldn't trust him with all of the breakaways and all of the odd man rushes and on the rebounds, and you shouldn't trust him with all that stuff. You need to clamp it down. And maybe there's this feeling. Obviously, there's this feeling. I'm saying maybe there's this feeling that Martin Jones is just a terrible goaltender. Again, I'm not going to say he's terrible, and I know you guys really want me to.
There's a lot of chat.
I'm not going to say
Jones
he's
is
terrible.
Horrible. Terrible.
Yes.
Those are the two words they're using.
I know. I'm just not going to say that because when I see the situations that he's put in, the team could do a much better job of recognizing that his skill level and not allowing those opportunities for the other team. They could do a much better job of that.
I'll say this. While I don't believe he's a terrible goalie, he is playing terribly, and probably more so, he is not playing like Martin Jones. I think that's part of the problem. Is we see him playing right now, and we're like, he used to do better. He, 9-16 or whatever playoff history,
make those saves,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not playing like Martin Jones right now.
But here's the thing now. You just said it. We've seen him make those saves. Yeah, he can make them once in a while, but his percentage on that's not going to be very high.
Right.
He's not going to be consistent. He's not an elite goaltender. And again, I'm not willing to say he sucks. I'm just willing to say that he's good, and you can't put him in a situation where you need somebody who's better than good, and we keep doing that, right?
Yeah.
So should he be making some of those saves?
Yeah.
If he was a better goalie. I mean, really, if he was, yeah, you'd hope that he'd make some of those saves.
Would I take
even the
Pecorino over him?
Even the 2-on-1, where Dylan, I think it was, took away the pass. Or maybe it was Burns. Sorry, Burns, I think, took away the pass, and then the shot came and he missed it, and it goes in. It's like, yeah, maybe he should be making that save. But you know what? Again, it's a 2-on-1 situation. If you're the Sharks, wake up. This guy is not going to make that save consistently. Act like it.
Speaking of
That's
waking
my whole
up,
point.
one goal in every period in the first minute.
Yeah.
Wake up. Start the game on time. Start the periods on time. That's like, I'm hoping this 2-1 is not a season-ending deficit, but I hope it is a wake-up call at least.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, so with Vlasic out, defensive time on ice, right? Mm-hmm. Joachim Ryan had 17 minutes tonight. Heed had 10 minutes. Dylan 18, Braun 22, Carlson 20, Burns 25. Part of that could have been because at the end they just said we're not trying as hard, so we're not gonna play the horses as much. So probably rest him for the next game.
Yeah.
But still, you're putting out Joachim Ryan for 17 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
That's not gonna. It's not going to go well compared to having Vlasic in there for 20 minutes. So
and we're only
and I'm not trying to make tons of excuses.
Right.
I thought the Sharks were actually going to come back. They looked like they were in that third period in the beginning,
fire lit.
a little bit, and they got 2 quick goals. I'm like, ooh, this is good. It's a 2-goal game now. I think if they can press and get that other one, and then it's going to get typical Sharks. They'll probably be 1 goal short. Had a minute left in the game, but it didn't happen. But yeah. Anyway.
All right. So I'm gonna ask some questions because there's a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's a lot of chat going on. Obviously, I'm thinking. I'll just start with the
people are just gonna get mad at me. I know. Go ahead.
I'm sure. But no, let me. Oh, so we know Jones is having some issues. We know that team defense is having some issues.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Dell should start Game 4?
Yes. Flat out. No, and here's the thing. Again, I'm willing to admit this. I have no confidence in Jones right now, especially the way that they're playing around him. Right. If you're willing to clamp it down more for a guy who clearly needs more help, then maybe I'm a little more confident. They're not really doing that right now. Much like it is like a wake-up call, I would say maybe start Dell just in the fact that, Dell isn't your starter. Maybe now you guys start clamping it down because you think mentally, you got to change your game a little bit. Yeah. You're forced to because Dell's in net. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to have Dell in net so that they clamp it down. And then, maybe you go back to Jones. I don't know. And then if you have that mindset.
I think
people are saying Shortridge or Coronar or Bebeau. That's not happening.
Maybe Maybe Bibeau.
Because he's fun to say.
Maybe.
He's never even played in the NHL.
Yes, he has.
He played for Toronto, right? He's never played for the Sharks.
Yep. I know.
Bringing him into a situation like that, he's going to get rattled too quick.
Yeah, it's not so much being rattled, but it's that you've got Jones. If you don't have the confidence in him, which I don't think many people have, including myself, I'm not very confident in him. I don't want you to think that I'm sitting here going, Jones is elite and it's everybody else's fault. That's not what I'm saying. You have to don't read into it.
You can't bring in Bibeau because nobody has played with him.
Yeah,
practically.
That's
except
true
for the
too.
guys that have been called up, but there's not that many that are on the Sharks right now. So nobody has really played with Bibeau, and they don't know how they play. And there's a lot of communication that goes on between the defenders, the forward, everybody with the goalie. So I just don't think that's realistic.
No, I don't think it's realistic either. I'm saying if you don't trust Jones, you play Dell. If something were to happen with either one of those goaltenders and Bibeau gets pulled up and pulled in, I'm sure I could see him maybe getting a shot. But I'm telling you, if they go down 3-1, you're not gonna start your backup. Like, you know what I mean?
Real quick, I'm just gonna say I have the this feed posted on our Reddit page, but I'm not going to kick it over to the Sharks one. If one of you guys, whoever's on Reddit, can post it over there, because I'm not going to do that anymore. So we can maybe get some more people in here. But we're at 74 right now, by the way.
Let me jump in real quick and say what Keith said. And I think Keith speaks for all of us, or at least he speaks for me. Hey, Paul and Aaron, love the Fin Factor. I just wasted 3 hours of my life.
3 hours watching our show? Or?
Hopefully you don't waste another one.
We've only been streaming for a couple minutes, so 11 minutes, so it's not us. Do you guys think that, I think this, Aaron, you mentioned this already, but or at least we were talking about this before the stream started, but Le GM says, I think Thornton will get suspended.
Yeah, I think that hurt was dirty. I tweeted about it earlier. It's like, think about it, this is the way I always think about those kinds of situations. If somebody on Vegas had done that to the Sharks, would you want them suspended?
Absolutely.
100%. It was a dirty hit. And before that, earlier in the game, Thornton was skating by Marchessault, and it was right after the penalty was called, and it was a good, 5-10 seconds after the whistle, and he's skating by him. Marchessault's kind of looking over here, and Thornton's came by and just kind of throws the shoulder, and Marchessault, of course, goes, and flies over the ice. Like, he should have gotten a diving call if Thornton was going to get a penalty for that. But it was great. I like seeing that kind of stuff, not what Thornton did. I don't even know who he hit, but that was dirty.
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, there are a few things from Jumbo that I've seen that I'm kind of disappointed a little bit. Like the butt end to the face on Reeves. Like, I don't know. Like, as a Sharks fan, maybe you kind of want to see him kind of get it, but that's not the way to do it. I don't like some of the things that I'm seeing out of Joe right now. I think he's very frustrated, and I get it. But there are better ways to go about it than doing things like that. And I don't know. Again, for me, I'd rather see a cleaner way of doing that, of getting under their skin. But that's just not the right way to do it.
Normally, an angry Joe is a very, very
I like
precise, well shooting Joe.
Right.
So, by the way, talking about physicality of the game real quick.
Yes.
So we said, 80 hits? What was the first game?
85?
80 the first game, 83 the second game.
Any guesses?
For tonight?
94.
For tonight. Aaron?
96.
98 hits. You guys are pretty close, though. That's good.
Yeah. No.
And whoever set the over-under at 12.5 penalties, I think we went over that. So.
Yeah, no, we did, because it was 12 penalties, and then there was the fight at the very end. And as soon as I said, how many penalties are there? You said 12.
We were at 12 with 2 minutes.
We're going over, because someone's going to fight. Someone's going to drop the gloves, guaranteed. And I think somebody had brought it up, saying that was kind of a chicken move, really, by throwing Reeves out there with Kane when Kane had already basically had his whole shift. So you got a fresh Reeves who's fighting against a not-so-fresh Kane.
That's kind of weak.
I feel like Reeves won the fight. It was very, very close, but I feel like Reeves just barely edged that fight out. If Kane was, full energy, I think you could say, that might have gone a little bit differently.
And it's too bad Haley got hurt. Because that would have been Haley out there fighting Reeves.
I wonder how much of Haley being out of the lineup kind of allowed them to throw as many hits as they did. Joe, what's the stat on the number of hits that they had? Because I know they out-hit us, too.
The status is Christopher Lindsay, $5 for Super Chat.
Yeah, thanks.
Thoughts on Reeves holding Meyer behind the play? Oh, my God, that was
terrible. That was horrible,
was about 10 to 15 seconds, no call, and penalties to both. Instead, Stone scores a hat trick.
Yeah, that to me, again, it's just one of those things where, you can't you can't point a finger and blame anybody but the refs on that one.
I mean,
right?
that makes me angry because the refs they're not calling that, and now Vegas knows they can get away with that kind of stuff.
The linesman was trying to pull him off, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but he can't call the penalties, right?
No, linesman can't call the penalties.
Exactly.
But yeah,
that one's live, right? That's not one of the old ones.
That's a real one. That's the question that just came in. I think that's bad because now the Vegas Knights are gonna probably pull some more.
We said this last time. You get 8 penalties against you, and you score on 2 of your penalty kills, and you only get 1 scored against. What's stopping you? Actually, another YouTuber who's very popular, much more popular than us. I don't care. You guys want me to say the name or not?
Nobody's more popular than us,
right? He's a Maple Leafs fan. He was talking about the Bruins game, and he was like, hands down, Bruins played better than the Maple Leafs game too. But like, the officiating was absolutely terrible, and it was like. It was almost like he was in my mind saying, "Look, you get penalties you do something that is a penalty every single play because they're not going to call it every time."
Yeah,
and that's how Vegas has that to go right now. If they want to. So
when they get a 4-goal lead, they're going to take a bunch of liberties. So,
sure, yeah.
I think it's just going to get dirty and dirty and dirty like that.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Again. I'm disheartened with the way that the team has played in the last couple games here, and it's just we're not thinking defensively responsibly. Couture said this earlier in the season too. Couture had said, from good defense you're going to get good offense. From good defense you're going to recover the puck, you're going to possess, and that's how you're going to get good offense. And we are not playing very good defensively right now. I know. Again, that's not me saying. Let's just, forgive Jones of everything that's going on. But again, I just don't like the way that we've been playing defensively. Look at all the breakaways. Look at all the 2-on-1s. Look at everything that's been going on.
What do you think? How many games do you think Thornton would get? I think 1. And I think 1 because the guy didn't get a concussion. He didn't get hurt. There was a penalty called on the play. I think it should have been a game misconduct.
Yeah.
And if it was a game misconduct, I don't think there would be a suspension. But because he wasn't hurt...
Because the refs take care of it, right?
Right.
So.
Because he wasn't hurt, I think... I wouldn't be surprised if there is no suspension because he didn't get hurt and Thornton got a penalty on it. But I would expect 1. I don't think there'd be more than 1, especially since it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Paul, back to your point where you were talking about... I don't remember what you're talking about, but I know I had a response to it. I was just going to say, I think the Sharks have been playing offensive-mindedly the entire season, and they've just been able to outscore their problems.
Yeah.
And when they actually get defense, what's our record when we only let 2 goals in?
31-0, I think.
So if we actually play defense, or I'm going to throw Jones under the bus, if Jones actually stands on his head or does what he should be doing and making that stop, absorbing any rebounds, so that they don't get second or third or fourth chances or whatever's happening, then we're fine. But then we saw a lot of 5-3, 6-4 kind of like games where it's like we're letting in a lot of goals, but we're managing to get goals too.
Sure.
Right now we're being just stunted.
If you play solid defensively, the 6 drops down dramatically, right? And you're possessing the puck on top of the 4 that you already scored. Now you have even more chances because you're possessing the puck back. I just feel like the Sharks are doing that risk-reward stuff still, and it's biting them.
Yeah, well, you guys talked about this, like, it's gonna tighten up in the playoffs. It did for game 1.
Yeah, and it worked, right? And when you lock it down, it works. When you don't lock it down, this is the result you're gonna get.
All right, so Jumbo was asked about the hit after the game.
Oh boy.
And he said, this is Joe Thornton quote. I think my son hits me like that 6 times a day. It was just a weird position he put himself in, that's all. Gallant, the coach, said definitely a high hit to the head. They'll take a look at it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but Gallant, he's far from the truth with his quotes. Because
what was the last thing that he said about the Couture, right? About Couture's the non-goal in the second game. He said, I don't know what they're even looking at over there because obviously he
skated through the paint.
Skates through the paint. I'm like, that's not the paint, buddy. Like, that whole thing. When we have to go past that one anyway, so let's just get past it. But it's.
Yeah, if you want Gallant's quote, I got it.
Yeah, okay.
It was definitely the right call. He hit him in the head. He's trying to play the puck. He's defending his goal, and the guy skates through the blue paint and bumps into him in the head. To me, it's pretty obvious.
Any replay from any angle. And
any coach is going to back their goalie.
Sure, but let's not lie in the process.
And like what I said is, I said he should say, you know what, I think the call helped us, and I think I'm hoping that Fleury's okay. Sure, say something like that. But to be like he skated through the blue paint, it's like it's easily refutable. No, he didn't. You know, whatever. Again, that was game two.
I mean, again, there's not much to talk about in game 3 here, so we're kind of going backwards. But here's what I will say now. You can score 90 goals if you want to in one game. Gives you one game in the series, right? And let's go back to something else that I had said. I felt like after game 2 that the Sharks were behind. Even though the series is tied 1-1 at that point, I felt like the Sharks were behind because in my philosophy is you're going to want to win the home games, right? If the Sharks had gone up 2-0 and said, okay, we're on par. We're not ahead, we're on par. Because when we go back to Vegas, it's their job to win 2 home games. And that's basically evens up the series, right? But that's their job. That's what they need to do. When they came out of San Jose 1-1, I felt like we're behind. The win here in Vegas, I don't feel like we're super behind right now.
It's only
they're
2-1.
doing what they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to win their home games. So game 4 is going to be very telling, and I've always said this too. Game 4 to me is the most pivotal game in any series. Think about why. Either you've swept the series and you're done, or the other way, you're out.
Right.
That's game 4. If the series is 2-1, obviously because there's 3 games, the series is 2-1. Either you tie it up and it's the best of 3, or you go down 3-1 and the other team has to win out, right? So I think to me, game 4 is the most pivotal. So game 2 sucks that we lost it, whatever. Game 3, okay, this one's been really, really bad. If they take this as a kick in the butt and the Sharks start thinking, okay, well, how are we going to beat this team? What do we need to do? And they realize that it has everything to do with protecting Martin Jones, a guy who is not as good as you claim him to be, and you need to start clamping down around him.
Not the fans, you, of course, because they all think
No, the fans, yeah, no. The fans, I know. But no, I'm saying the Sharks organization. He's not as good as you claim him to be. He needs more protection around him. Start playing like that. If you do that and you get out of game 4 with the win, the series is now tied up and it's a best of 3. Otherwise, you're going to have to win 3 straight against a team that's up on you 3-1.
Let's say the Sharks win game 4.
Mm-hmm.
How does everyone's feelings towards the next best of 3?
I say
Sharks having home ice.
I say it's how did they win? If they end up winning game 4, how did they win it?
Playing a very tight game.
Exactly.
Playing tight defensively. Hopefully Vlasic is back. I don't know what's wrong with him, and I don't know if he's going to be back.
So we're gonna have a few guys out, and we'll talk about that in a second too. But
Carlson is obviously not healthy.
No.
You could see he wasn't skating. He only had 20 minutes tonight, so he was cut back a lot. Part of that's probably because they were already blown out towards the end.
But you're talking about 7 minutes off of his pace, right?
Right.
That's a lot.
He still pulled some sweet moves.
Oh yeah.
Coming out of the zone, but defensively he's just not quite there.
Well,
so I think everyone, they just need to really tighten it up. The forwards included. Everyone coming back and kind of clogging in front of the net. A lot of the goals tonight were rebounds and not picking up their men, and they're skating free through the crease. So I think you tighten that up in the next game. You know that, let's say you have Dell in there, he's going to be a lot different, and you need to protect your goalie and you're going to protect your net. The offense is going to come. It's not like they've been shut out by Fleury in this series at all in any of the games. They've put up at least 3 goals in each game. So I'm confident that if they can defensively come together, refocus. Let's say Thornton is out. That was one of the questions. If Thornton is out and Haley's out, how do the lines look?
Radil,
Donskoy, and Radil. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Now, how did the line shake out? I don't know who slots in as the third line center then.
You might move.
You have to move Goodrow or Carlson maybe?
I was going to say Hurdle, because you could put Couture in the second line, Pavelski on the first line, and then Hurdle on the third line.
You could.
Who else is center, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would be the centers, and then Radil will be the fourth line center, I guess.
I don't know. All of a sudden, our depth looks pretty beat up, right? I mean,
but still, that's pretty good lines.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But when we were talking about, having, a top 9 where it doesn't even have Jonas Donskoy in it, right? I mean, this is a guy who's a pretty solid offensive player. I wouldn't play him on the fourth line, but if we got an injury, he's a guy that we could insert into the lineup, right?
Okay, Rodriguez.
Okay,
you're about to get
Vegas
muted
right there.
in a minute. Don't be mean. You don't have to be a jerk. Go ahead.
What?
That's fine.
Okay.
He's just very, very convinced.
Is he being mean to the fans in the comments or to us or
just in general?
Okay,
it's fine.
Let's keep it calm.
We don't mind
guys.
you being
Just
here.
relax.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with anybody from Vegas. I'm assuming maybe being here part of the show. It's totally cool, but just be cordial, be nice.
Jordan Marley, I believe. I I agree with here. Sharks need to play tight defense first. Vegas can score, and they know that. Yeah. So the Sharks, so can the Sharks. So play defense first and then score after.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of, I agree. I think that we need to see the Sharks, like you said, if Dell's in goal, it doesn't even matter, actually. The Sharks need to understand they're in the playoffs and that their first priority needs to be
defense first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, defense first. From good defense, like Logan Couture said, from good defense comes good offense. So I would clamp down, get the puck back, and then work on getting up the ice. That's my game plan, but I'm not Pete DeBoer, so what do I know, right?
Yeah. Well, and Deb says Vegas had one line that has scored almost every goal, and doesn't believe that's sustainable. But that's because it's Stone, right? Stone's just getting all the goals right now.
Yeah.
Stone's playing extremely well.
That's
extremely
his first
well.
Career hat trick.
Yeah, and here's the thing now. We had said, and I think Logan Couture had said it too, the first two lines are going to cancel each other out, and it's the third line that's going to be the difference maker. The third line was the first line to get a goal in the game tonight. So, I mean, pretty bang on there, right? But the first lines are not canceling each other out. The first top six, I will say, the first two lines are not canceling each other out. We are not seeing the Sharks playing their game, playing well, and playing on time. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing Vegas come out and striking. And those two lines are not canceling each other out. Vegas is absolutely getting the better of our top lines. And again, on paper, we look so much better, but on paper doesn't seem to mean anything, unfortunately. So, and we know that too because look at Columbus. Look at Columbus Blue Jackets taking a 3-0 series lead over the best team in the decade.
And the Islanders are up 3-0 on the Penguins.
So, I mean, again, we could be in a worse situation, I guess. But, I mean, on paper, throw that out the window, I guess.
2-1's not a death sentence.
No, it's not.
But it better be 2-2.
Yeah.
Game 4.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah. Again, game 4, most pivotal, in my mind, most pivotal game in any series.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk to this dude. All right.
Okay.
Put Vlasic and Braun back together. Vlasic
is out.
That's why he didn't play tonight. We're only down 1 going into game 4.
Do you guys think Vlasic will come back? Have we heard any updates on his injury?
I haven't.
I've not heard anything, and they're going to stay so
lower body
tight-lipped
or
on
upper
that.
body.
It's probably just a body injury. They're not going to say where it is. Yeah.
I'm like, if you think about Couture's blocked shot, and he was back in the same game, and then Vlasic blocked a shot and has now been out an entire game, it doesn't inspire me with a lot of confidence for Vlasic right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fleury played a great game. I mean, he's an all-star goaltender for a reason, right? I mean, he played a really, really good game. The chances that the Sharks did have, he did a pretty good job of shutting pretty much everything down. He didn't see, maybe I missed this, but I didn't see too many rebounds. And the one that did get a rebound out there, we buried it. So I think maybe Jones can take a page out of that book, trying to swallow up more of those pucks as opposed to just making the save. Because we had a couple of them, I think, that were shots that he kicked out and the rebound came out. And, of course, the Sharks being able to clear that would be nice, but
Chris Lindsay's going to donate to mute Rodriguez.
Rodriguez,
I don't mind you talking smack. That's fine. But in all caps, man, it's just really annoying. And you can't spell. You spelled smack smake.
It's all good.
S-M-A-K-E. That's not even a word.
I'm gonna
I'm never gonna get on anyone for typing or talking because I get right there. Anyways, Harley Rivera. Hopefully they actually put more effort into the game 4. Who actually was competing the whole 60 other than Couture? Yeah. Embarrassing play from top to bottom.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I think we need everybody to be playing their game.
Yeah.
What did Pavelski do tonight?
I don't know. I know Reeves threw him down before he put Timo in a headlock for 5 minutes or whatever it was. I mean, look, give credit where credit's due. I mean, Vegas is a very good team. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I just, again, when I look at our lineups and I see, our top lines versus their top lines, I see our third line versus theirs, and even our fourth, we look like the much better team. And, again, on paper, it doesn't seem to matter at all, unfortunately, because if they were playing up to their potential, this wouldn't be as tight of a series as it is,
right? In
my opinion. If we had our guys healthy, if blah, 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 whatever. There's a lot that goes into it, and the Sharks are just getting wrecked right now, unfortunately. They got to come out with that blue-collar style of play in Game 4. They really do. They need to get down to working hard on, skating. I see a lot of it where there's a lot of coasting. There's a lot of not throwing the body where they can. There's a lot of the Vegas Golden Knights beating them to pucks. You're not going to win a hockey game.
Battles.
Yeah, you're not going to win a hockey game by relying on, we have good talent. That's not good enough. It really isn't. And we saw it again tonight. So That's really what they need to do. They need to put the work boots on, pull them all the way up, start skating hard after every single puck, because otherwise you're going to find yourself down 3-1. And like you said, it's going to be a real pain coming back from 3-1, having to win 3 straight. I'd rather go down, if you tire yourself out in Game 4 and you lose Game 5, I'd rather be down 3-2 after having won a game and then lost a game, as opposed to having lost a game and having to win 3 straight, right?
We get opportunities, but not put them in the nets. The refs are inconsistent. Is it me, or does it seem that EK65 is tired or not 100%?
Oh, he's not 100%. He's like 70%.
Oh, Bradley Hines. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bradley.
Can we play 2 goalies? I don't know if that would help.
That was done once in NHL history. Somebody actually shoved 2 goaltenders in the net when it was late and they were up by a goal or something. I forget what it was. They were basically trying to play good defense, and they basically screwed up and puck went in the net. So I'm pretty sure I heard a story about that a long time ago.
What was the other question I just saw? If the Sharks stop Vegas from scoring the first minute in each period, this game is probably still happening right now in overtime. There's your silver lining. Yeah. That's true. In Game 1, Vegas had some chances and they couldn't bury them, and they missed the net a few times, so it was kind of like a puck luck kind of thing. And the last 2 games haven't been so. They've been scoring those goals, especially tonight. They scored 1 in each period. I think you take those away from Vegas, they get a lot of momentum from those goals. I mean, any team would, but they're especially good at getting those kinds of goals early in the games and setting the tone. And I heard this on the radio. I think it was Baker saying it, that when you get those goals and you play the way you are and you're up, all of a sudden you get more confidence in the game that you're doing, and you stick to that game plan because it's working. Whereas the other way around, let's say the Sharks are scoring and they're stopping them from scoring. Now they're kind of like double thinking about their strategy, or maybe changing it up and doubting it, and their confidence level goes down, which is what we saw in Game 1 because they were missing those shots, those not quite empty netters, but wide open chances that they were not burying.
And the one thing I will say about that is maybe they do need to doubt their game plan then. If their game plan is try to run and gun on these guys, it ain't working. Again, play solid defense first. Yes, the Sharks. Again, go back to playing solid defense, and let's work from there. Now, maybe you're incapable of playing solid defense right now with the guys that you have on hand, but one way or another, that's really what's going to make or break this series for the Sharks, is clamping it down on the defensive zone, clogging up the neutral zone, and getting the puck back. So that's the way I see it.
I blame Pete DeBoer for those bad starts. I would be ripping these players on the bench after the poor starts time after time. That's not his style. And I think there was an article about this a week or 2 ago about how DeBoer is not that kind of coach that rips you in on the bench in front of people. He does it kind of in the background,
behind closed doors.
Right.
Yeah, in the locker room.
Exactly. So that's just not his style, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's, not everyone's going to be like John Tortorella.
I was like, can we just do a patching call with Tortorella real quick? And he can maybe talk to us?
I mean,
no, because there will be explicatives all over the place.
People are also
not us. I mean the Sharks, that is.
People are also asking if Pete DeBoer is going to get fired over this if they lose. I mean, is the Tampa Bay coach, who is up for the Jack Adams Award, going to get fired? Is the coach for the Penguins going to get fired? There's a lot of other teams that are just as bad, so that would be a lot of job openings, swapping coaches around. Right, yeah.
They're down 3-0, right? Yeah. I mean, we're at least 2-1 right now.
Right.
But they,
But the Sharks, I mean, think about it this way. The Sharks, how'd they play in Game 1? Great, right?
No, they played like they should be playing right now.
Right, and Vegas didn't play so well. So what makes you think that it's going to continue exactly how it is? You don't know.
Sure.
I think the Sharks needed to make a difference after Game 2. Because like we talked about after Game 1, hey, what do the Sharks need to change? Nothing. They need to play their game plan.
Yeah.
But then they didn't.
We played defense, we needed to come back checks in Game 1.
Exactly. And then we need, it's like, I don't know.
I think the Sharks can regroup, and I think this is the group that can do it because there's so many veterans and guys that have been through all this stuff.
Except a couple of them are now out of the game.
Yeah, except Vlasic's out. Thornton might be out. We'll see. We don't know.
There's still enough.
Yeah, there should be. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. There should be. And there should be guys that are stepping up and doing a better job.
I don't think it's panic time yet, but I think it's go time. I think it's time for them to step up.
I think Game 4 is an empty the tank game. And again, if you end up, losing in Game 5, I'd rather try to win 2 straight than have to win 3 straight.
Yeah. Empty the tank, come back home, best of 3.
Yeah.
Jordan saying they should just scrap the pinching defense in the offensive zone, not have speed to recover. And I think I think that's very true, and I think we do that trying to break out of our own zone even, which I saw a couple, if not goals, chances tonight where it was like, okay, this one guy is going to take it out, and somebody just tips the puck back in the zone, and now it's a 2-on-1, and or it's even in it's just too much space.
I don't mind
too.
I don't mind the defenseman jumping in and rushing into the play, like rushing into the offensive zone. I don't mind that. What I do mind is the forwards have all their momentum going the same direction.
Right.
One of them has to at least have momentum coming the other way. If that doesn't necessarily mean skating all the way back, to the red line. If Carlson's trying to cross the blue line, it doesn't mean Couture has to come back to the red line, right? It just means walk that blue line and get ready to kind of tip back a little bit, because if he loses that puck, you need to have momentum going the other way, so it's not consistently a 2-on-1, right?
If Burns if Burns is going up to take to try to dangle a little bit, because he does, and he's offensive minded, then whoever's out there on the offensive line needs to recognize he's coming in. I'm going to start moving back.
Yeah, and that's my point, right? Just get a little bit of momentum going, not always going across the line, but recognizing that, okay, he's kind of in a situation where if he does poke that puck, or if that puck does get poked away from him, it's going back the other way, and he and anybody else is coming back with one defenseman left back there. I've got to have at least some momentum to get a stick in, challenge anything, right?
I want to read another quote from Thornton on the fight.
Oh boy.
Thornton on this is the Reeves and Kane fight. For a 30-goal scorer, boy, he looked good in that fight. It looked like Brett Hull fighting Ryan. It was tough to see Ryan go down like that versus a 30-goal scorer. Hopefully he'll have better luck next time.
Oh, man. He must know he's not playing this game.
Like, mind games, man.
Yeah, it's funny. And it's from a frustrated Joe Thornton right there, too, and he's really, giving it to him and everything. At the end of the day, the score is the thing that matters, and we didn't get that. But, this type of, like mental warfare, if you will, I love it, man. It's really awesome.
You know what I miss right now? Because you were saying, like, DeBoer isn't going to call people out on the bench, at least. He might be yelling them out in the locker room or not.
Yeah.
I will go back to my limited knowledge of Clo after one of the games, and it was like when the Sharks were on like a 17-game like slide, and the interview, they said, so what happened out there? And he basically said, well, we got a bunch of guys, and obviously he used much more explicit words here, but basically he said we got a bunch of blanks out there who don't want to play blank in hockey, and then stared at the reporters, and he was like, so are we done? And then they go back in the room, and I think they won like their next 20 games or something like that. They went on like an 18-2 kind of a deal,
Yeah.
It was like they need somebody to call them out, and that's why I was telling you guys in chat earlier. It's like Jones needs to call them out. It's like, I will get you that first save. You guys got to clear the puck. Stop hanging me out to dry.
Yeah,
that's not Jones' type. But
okay, great.
I don't think that they're not already doing this. Like the team is regrouping. And
but since we don't see it, I want to call it out as if it was my idea.
It's not like they all have their heads hanging down low and they're just beating each other up and just like, this sucks. We suck. This is just not going well. No, they're all they're riling each other up and regrouping, and they're going to be. And Jason Hillier, I think he agreed with me earlier. I think this is the team that can do that.
Yeah. Real quick about Thornton, people are wondering like, why is he making jokes about like after getting blown out, and somebody says like that's Thornton.
That's Joe.
Right? And I will say this. The year that it burns in my heart right now, just talk about it, is the sweep that we got swept after we went up 3-0. Yeah. They were interviewing, because that was the year Thornton was captain.
Yeah.
They're interviewing before the game, and he's like, yeah, we just got to go out there and play good hockey. And I'm like, no, that is not the approach that you need to come out with.
But again, like he's saying, like the behind closed door stuff, he's saying a whole lot more than that. He's letting the reporters know just the little tiny thing that's a cliche that he's just giving them a quote so they'll go away. He doesn't go back to the locker room and say, hey, guys, we just need to get pucks in, get pucks deep, and get behind their defense. Blah, blah, blah. He's not saying that. They're saying a whole lot more.
That's reserved for the answers.
They're giving those answers to media so that the media will go away. That is what they're doing.
Right.
They're not going to give away game plan stuff, right? Because obviously other.
What are you guys going to do?
Well,
we're going to come to the right and then.
Right. They're not going to give that stuff away. They're not. It's why they always say lower body injury instead of I broke my toe. Because if you say lower body injury, you're not really sure exactly where. And if you say I broke my toe, then a guy knows to smack you on the toe with the stick when he goes by you, right?
Well, it's not 2 minutes for slashing, but now you're out of the game.
But now you've got a throbbing broken toe underneath all this.
Which you still play with because
you're hockey. Yeah, you're hockey players. So. Anyway, I mean, this game just all around just not very good.
Hey, you brought this up, Aaron, and I want to bring this up real quick because Alec just posted it. What are we thinking about Fleury wiggling his glove off and getting the play blown dead.
He is. I don't know any other goalies that do this kind of shenanigans. Is what the word I'm gonna use. How many goalies knock their own net off? Quick. How many goalies lose a glove? How many goalies' helmet miraculously just comes popping off in the middle of a power play? I think he does it more than Quick.
Really?
I do. I think Quick does it enough as well, but I think Fleury gets away with a lot more stuff, and I think I would like to see DeBoer complain about this more, almost in the media, because that's what Gallant does, and it ends up working. And they give a penalty to Fleury for delay of game, basically is what that would be.
Yeah.
I would like to see that call more because this is just ridiculous. I think it was in game 2 where the defender, it was on a power play, and there was a kind of wide open chance, and both Fleury and the defender jumped towards the post and knocked it off. That is the definition of a delay of game penalty, of knocking the goal off when the guy wasn't pushed by a Sharks player. Mm-hmm. So I want to see that get enforced more, and I think it's just complete
unfortunate times.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Censor.
All those stupid Kings fans.
Anyway, Fleury is very frustrating.
Let's stop right there for just a second. I want everybody to do this with me. Let's all just exhale, okay? There's been a whole heck of a lot going on. I think we all just need to...
It's 2-1.
Just
2-1.
Yeah.
But I do want to see a lot better play in Game 4.
I absolutely agree. And it's been a rough go the last couple games. It really has. At the end of the day, again, you can score as many goals as you want in one game. It's only going to get you a win for that one game. Give the team a chance to regroup. Give them a chance to come back. Again, Vegas, in my mind, Vegas is supposed to go out there and win their home games. So while that may not bode well for Game 4, that's kind of what I'm expecting, at least for one of these two games, is that they're going to get a win. If the Sharks come out and they win in Game 4 and they do it in the right fashion and that mindset carries on through the rest of the series, I don't think we're in as much trouble as we're all reacting to right now, right?
All right, so a couple of things real quick. Bob Jackson, Dwayne Robinson did that stuff all the time when he was on the Oilers.
Dwayne Rolson.
Wow, yeah, that's what it says. In fact, they actually typed that.
Yeah,
I read the wrong name. Anyway, so yeah, when versus the Sharks in the playoffs, he'd intentionally shake off his mask to stop the play when the Sharks had the puck. James Henry, I know you guys are we've talked Jones to death, but for next year, I mean, we're still in this year, but for next year, are there any free agents? I think, don't we have guys coming up though?
They're not going to spend money on they're not going to spend big money on a goalie. They're not going to go out and get Bobrovsky.
You can't.
I know people really want Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, flat out you can't. I mean,
especially if he gets out of the first round, he's probably going to re-sign by his own, right? Can he be re-signed by?
He can, but he doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be in the Blue Jackets. Okay.
He might change his mind. Who knows?
If they go on a deep run, maybe. But
if they go on a real, I said this before too. If Columbus doesn't, if they don't go deep in the playoffs and convince some of the current players to re-sign, they are going to be a hot garbage dumpster fire for a good long time, because they brought guys in that are solid, awesome, great players, and if they have the same mindset as Panarin and Bobrovsky, and they want out of town, they've got nothing left on that team.
Hey. Christopher Lindsay, $5. Thoughts on Carlson?
Thank you.
Erik Karlsson getting high-sticked on the power play when the Sharks had the momentum from the 2 quick goals. Should have been a 5-on-3.
I agreed. The refs, there's 4 people that can make this call because the linesmen are allowed to help assist calls for high sticking. Oh. So there's 4 sets of eyes that are able to call a high sticking call, and none of them saw it. This is ridiculous. I think the Sharks are kind of getting a little, I can't think of a good word. It's not
frustrated.
Offensive. No, like
hosed
by the refs. Sorry, I think they're getting hosed in this series a little bit. I mean, granted, Thornton got away with some stuff, so it's not completely biased against the Sharks. I don't like to do that, but there's a lot of missed calls that high sticking calls are kind of like, those should be called every time, right?
That's like over glass. It's pretty easy to see.
But especially bleeding. We saw Timo Meier got cut in the chin and he was bleeding. That should have been a 4-minute power play. That was in game 1, I think.
Yeah.
So I think those calls need to be made.
At the same time, you go back and you look at the number of power plays that we have had, and we just haven't capitalized on our chances either.
Doesn't matter.
So,
like,
no, I agree. I'm just saying.
It should still be called. And
what's the point of having the power play if you're not going to capitalize on it, right?
Yeah, they've been giving up more goals on it anyway. Yeah. But this would have been a 5-on-3. Sure. Not a 5-on-4.
Sure.
It was already a 5-on-4.
We've had a 5-on-3, and then they scored on the ensuing 5-on-4. Go ahead.
We gave up a shorthanded on 5-on-3, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last game? So
No. It was
No.
5-on-3. He came out of the box, picked off the pass.
That was
5-on-4.
Gotcha.
and then
terrible
the other way.
pass and read by
It really
Carlson.
was,
He should
yeah.
have had a better situational awareness to know that guy was coming off.
Which is strange to say for Carlson because usually situationally aware he is.
Yep. So.
Illuminato brings up a point I was
Yes.
going to mention. If you watch the other games in the NHL, the non-calls have been really bad. And I know that, again, because I was watching this guy with the Bruins Maple Leafs.
And
he was saying, yeah, of course, they just punched themselves in the face. That's what's going on. It's like,
Well, Kadri I think he's getting suspended. That was a dirty hit.
I mean, it sounds like the refs basically.
Well, Kadri cross-checked a guy in the face.
Yes, in the face.
Like, that's...
Like,
Yeah. Right.
but I mean, I just feel like the refs are taking it too far with not wanting to influence the game, because by not influencing the game, you're influencing the game. You're saying that this type of stuff is okay, that you're not going to call it. And other teams are catching on to this and doing things that should be called. So I would rather see them be consistent, not necessarily with the regular season, but at least be consistent with, okay, if you're going to do, XYZ, we're going to call it every single time. And especially stuff like high stakes. You see a guy and he's throwing his head back and he's bleeding. It's not like he's going, it's phantom call. Oh, and then he cuts himself. It's like,
there's another call or a non-call. Joe Thornton got a high stick in this game too.
Yeah.
It was the blade of the stick kind of came down and hit him in the face, and he looked right at the ref, and I think he was yelling at the ref too from the bench. But there should be 4 sets of eyes seeing these calls, and they should be made.
Yeah. And again, like I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy against the Sharks. I don't like any of that stuff where people are like,
people are the biggest
Sharks
bookies and
yeah. No, that's really, I don't think that's the case, guys. I think there's just a lot of times where the refs are just doing a poor job, and unfortunate that, or maybe even not even doing a poor job, but again, just not calling things that normally in the regular season would be called because it's playoffs, because they don't want to be, the difference maker in the game. But it just seems like when it's blatant, like Reeves holding on to, Timo
Meyer.
When Reeves is holding Timo in a headlock for a good 7 seconds, and the ref is like trying to pull him apart.
The linesman.
The linesman, yes. I mean, something.
The linesman should be like, hey, guys, look over here.
Yeah.
Real quick, Harley Rivera, Tavares got high stick 3 times on the same shift and no call. Like, that's pretty rough. I want to bring up
Go ahead.
and because we again we're right after a loss and we're hurt, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Travis McLean, 2-1 series, and everyone is losing their minds. We're getting outplayed. I believe still. I love my team. Always will. Always watch every game and put my jersey on. Sharks fans wouldn't last seasons in Ottawa. And and I said this. I said, you know what? I think it's not the losses, it's how we've lost.
Yes.
To me, blowouts don't kill me because it's win or lose.
Or it's how we've played, that is. Not,
it win or lose because the next game is a whole different game. So you can get blown out. It could have been 7-1 tonight, and I still wouldn't care because they're not going to play like that in the next game.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget the Sharks won game 1 by 3 goals.
Right.
I mean, we can outscore and we can clamp down. It's just that we haven't in these last 2 games.
I think the key for the next game is to limit those opportunities and those goals in the first 5 minutes of each period. Not even the first minute, the first 5 minutes. If you can limit them the first 5 minutes, I think the Sharks are going to win the game.
Okay.
I mean, you limit any team to not scoring goals.
That's 15 minutes worth of not scoring right there out of 60. So if you could take away a quarter of the game,
but they're usually pretty good in 20 minutes in a game. They're dominant. Spread those 20 minutes out, the first 5 minutes of each period, and then 5 minutes somewhere else. There.
Hopefully not overtime.
Like the last 5 minutes of the
win.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments? I know we're kind of
listening to this show is equivalent to a midday nap, always refreshing and a great way to take away the stress. Love a voice of reason. So
we're
people who people who are new to our show, this is kind of during the regular season we kind of do this, but we do a once a week show, and we kind of, because of that reason, we don't do the high and the low lows every game. So, but the playoffs are a little bit different because it's the playoffs, so we're doing every single night.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the if you like that, this is the kind of feel of our show.
Yeah, we're more accustomed to, like you said, not getting super high on the highs and not getting super low on the lows, right? We're more accustomed to that just because of the way that we've been shooting the show anyway. And the types of fans that we are. I mean, it's not like we're real fans and everybody else who doesn't believe in them, they're whatever. We're not like that. It's, everybody that, again, for me, if you're emotionally charged by the team one way or the other, you're a fan because you care, right? For me, though, I think that if you have to look at the whole picture, and I think that's why a lot of people get upset with me when I defend Jones. It's because they want me to say he sucks. They want me to say the things that they're feeling because we just got blasted, right? And I get that, but when I look at the whole game and I look at how everything transpired, I mean, you've got a breakaway for Stone, 2 breakaways I think for Stone tonight. You had a beautiful pass by Stone on the power play. He went cross ice from high to low. So Jones not only is coming out of his crease to take away that angle on the high shot, he now has to back up into his crease and slide across. Yeah. And I see these situations and I'm going, not many goaltenders are going to have an easy time making those saves. And it just feels like every time a puck goes in, Jones is terrible, Jones sucks, and it's like, but guys, take a look at how it's happening. Now, maybe he should make that save, but we shouldn't be constantly putting him in these situations, That's just how I see it. So it's like I have a hard time getting so far down on one particular player and saying this is the problem. When I take a look at how the team can play, look at game 1. The team can play really well. If we get back to that, man, we're right back on the saddle again.
It's frustrating that Evander Kane had that breakaway shorthanded.
Yeah.
That would have made it a 1-goal game. It was really sad. And I wish he had gone short side because Fleury sold out for the poke check and got it. It was very aggressive of him. But just looking back, if Kane buries that, we need Kane to step up and score some goals, I think. If he buries that's a completely different game outset right there. So Sharks are getting chances they need to really bury him at this point. They were doing it in the first game.
But and I think while we do need to bury, again, earlier in the season when we were untouchable, we were outscoring our problems.
Yeah.
I think we need to focus on whether it's Jones, whether it's Dell, whether it's you guys suit up and go in there or throw whoever you want in the net.
They have no
You need
shot.
to make sure shots are getting blocked, pucks are getting cleared. I'm not thinking that Jones is Jones is playing. Like I said, I think he's playing terribly, but I think it's because he has no confidence at all right now.
Oh, yeah.
So. Somebody I mentioned earlier, he needs to rest. I'm like, Dell is a go for game 4 for me, simply because they left Jones in the entire game.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and you're absolutely right. What Joe just said. They left. I thought it was interesting when it was 4-1, 5-1, whatever, and
I think it was 5 when you say him.
Jones is still in the net. If you were going to play him at this point, you would think that Dell would be in the net. So I'm kind of curious. I'm wondering if they're not going to play Jones in game 4. I think they might go to Dell. Now, here's the thing. This is the game you want to go to Dell if you're going to go to Dell. Because if you lose game 4,
you go back to Jones.
It goes 3-1. Now you're not sure, right? If Jones is your guy, now you're going to experiment if you're going to put Dell in with the series on the line? No. When you go down 2 games, that's when you can experiment with your backup goaltender.
Let's say Dell gets the win game 2 or game 4.
Yeah.
Who starts game 5? Dell.
Well, if Dell gets the win in game 4, you got to go Dell. You have to.
Great goalie controversy.
I know. That's the thing. So
episode what is it?
If you start Dell, be prepared to ride him because,
LeBanc needs to stay out of the box. I agree. He's taking too many dumb penalties, which he's had a problem with during the regular season. And when in the regular season he does it, they bench him. So I don't think they could have benched him tonight because they needed his offense.
The Sharks are classically disciplined. At least I should say when I'm watching them, I feel like they're disciplined. Usually they are drawing more penalties, but in game 2 we obviously saw that didn't matter.
When they move their skates, and they're moving, they draw more penalties. When they get frustrated and they're sluggish, they're getting caught.
Slash, trip, anything and everything. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I totally agree on putting Dell in because it's like then you could play the hot hand. What happened? It was it Fleury or who was it on? It's the Penguins.
Murray.
Yeah.
Murray and Fleury.
Yeah, exactly. Why do they got to write in their names? Anyways, you play that hot hand the whole time, and it's like, but we got this guy who is essentially an elite goalie. It's like, okay, the other guy's playing better. Yeah. So it's like if you play Dell, and let's say either between his play maybe stepping up because he has that extra shot of adrenaline and he plays, or the team going, hey, we need to guard this guy more, whatever it is, you got people, or you got the Sharks playing better in front of Dell, leave him in until he has a bad game, then go back to Jones.
Yeah.
No,
and again, for me, that's game 4 is the game that you're going to experiment if you're going to do that.
Sorry, Ryan Nelson, let's just put Dell in for the first 5 minutes of each period.
Of each period.
You're going to like this one.
That's good. I like that.
Kane needs to ignore Reeves and focus on playing hockey. I don't think so. I think... Yes, but I think in this situation, the fight at the end of the game, I think it's great. I think, I think it's kind of bush league that Reeves went after him on the end of his shift and not the beginning. But Reeves wasn't on the ice. He came on. He knew exactly what he was doing. Gallant knew exactly what he was doing, putting him on the ice. He knew Kane was going to bite, and Kane was throwing some haymakers, man. I wish he landed one. If he knocked out Reeves, that would have been awesome.
Babysitter's gone now.
Yeah.
If he knocks him out.
Not for this game tonight.
Yeah, no.
For the next game.
Yeah.
And
That's what I mean.
Hopefully Kane didn't hurt himself throwing those haymakers.
I think also the Sharks were shrugging off a lot of the penalties and a lot of the non-calls better in Game 1.
Yes.
You know, they were a lot more confident about how they were playing, and
they were winning.
Okay, so
winning makes it easy, right?
Winning cures everything.
My thoughts on Kane leaving Reeves alone. On the one hand, I agree because, again, you don't want Kane in the box. You want him on the ice scoring goals. You want him on the ice running people, not running people, but running around, right, and slamming people on the boards. You want that. I mean, his stick handling skills are insane too. I mean, we've seen him kind of dangling between the defenseman's legs a few times and get really tight and close, and that's a threat. It's a threat out there. I'd rather see him doing that than sitting in the penalty box because he beat someone up, and especially a fourth line guy. Who cares? So I think it's fine to do that and send that message. That you're not going to push me around. I'm not scared of you. You are the babysitter. I think it's okay to do that when you're already down by 3 goals and it's the end of the game anyway, right? And hats off to Kane for fighting him, at the end of his shift and everything. Having said that, yeah, I would rather see him out there doing his thing. Now, you can be an agitator by not dropping the gloves. You can frustrate them by not dropping the gloves because they want you to, because they keep chipping away at you, trying to get you to lose your mind. And that's a good way to agitate is by not letting them make you lose your mind and go after him like that, right? And then you might start getting a couple of these penalties where it's like he was, unsportsmanlike or, roughing.
They should have gotten one when he was pinning Meyer down.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that. But and that brings it back. Okay, so is that going to work then? Because if the refs aren't going to call anything, then what does it matter, right? So who knows? But I kind of agree. I would rather see Kane engage Reeves when the game's done and over with, as opposed, and the jaw jacking on the bench, as opposed to engaging him when something's on the line. I would rather see him out there trying to put the puck in the net when something's on the line.
This is a great one. Hurdle is to make a comeback. He's disappeared the last 2 games.
Yeah,
I think
Jason replying, the whole team needs to make a comeback.
I think last year, the series against Vegas, Hurdle was dominant, and I think we needed to see him do that. He was kind of disappeared tonight. I don't know if he's hurt or something, but I would like to see maybe if Thornton's out, Hurdle gets moved to that third line center, and he's going to get more quality time against less quality defenders because he's on the third line versus Vegas's whatever line. So it's a little bit more spread out, and I think I would like to see Hurdle dominate in Game 4 and kind of put the team on his back.
Yeah,
I'd like to
if
see
Thornton's
that.
out, he may do that.
Right. Even with Thornton, if he's still in, I'd like to see Hurdle step up his game. Hurdle and Meyer need to step up. They're the young guys that need to come up and pull up their bootstraps and start scoring some goals and taking this team up.
But I do like what Jason had said. He said it's the whole team needs to play better, and I agree with that. It's not one guy or another guy is going to win you this series. I mean, in the case of Mark Stone, maybe that is the case. But I don't think playoff hockey, you can't just rely on one guy and that's it. You really do have to play good all the way around. And hockey is a team sport. It's not like basketball where you can just throw LeBron out there and he's probably going to do all the work for you, right? It's not quite like that. You do need to have the whole team playing well and playing together. And I agree with you. I think the whole team does need to step up. I think, even if Hurdle does play well, great. There are shifts. There's 3 other lines.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hurdle's line plays well. You got 3 other lines that are going to have to step up and do the job. And if they're not doing it, it doesn't matter that one line's scoring a bunch of goals. In Vegas's case, they have one line scoring a ton of goals, but the other lines are outplaying us. So that's the way I see it. I have to agree with you. It's not just any one player.
Do you agree with Jason in that if it goes to Game 7, you guys should live stream it?
I would love to, but there may be some complications with games 6 and 7, right?
We need to figure out what we're doing for
we need to figure out.
Oh, he's traveling.
Yeah, he is.
I thought it was for 5 and 6.
Oh, I back for talk with him. But no, if we were capable, let's put it that way, for Game 7, would we live stream the whole thing? I don't think you guys want that because that's the thing is I would have to censor myself because of this show. I don't want to have kids watching it and whatnot, and but Joe's laughing. Like
no, I'm laughing. Jason asked if we could sign LeBron as an enforcer.
Yeah.
I thought he's injured.
No, because if it was LeBron, as soon as he got a cramp, he'd be off the ice. Let alone a broken foot or whatever.
I've gotten cramps before.
Jason's gone for 7, only 7.
What?
You're gone, Jason. You're traveling.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we'll talk about
figure
that.
it out.
But
real quick, I want to get back. Actually,
Yeah.
I do want to ask one thing. So we didn't watch any post game stuff because we were doing this. Roenick was a former Shark and he was blasting Couture on his play tonight. Do you guys think he's injured? And I'm like, well, one, Roenick is always calling out the Sharks for everything. It seems like, and never likes anything they do. But I would say I would give Couture at least a couple of games of leeway to not skate as fast as possible because of the injury he took last game. You know, yes, he came back and played, but I mean, ow.
Again, for me, it's not any one guy. Like, you can call out one guy for not playing well. I mean, even Jones, you can call out Jones for not playing well. Fact of the matter is, again, it's a team sport. If everyone's not on the same page, if everyone's not playing well, if everyone's not trying to win their shift, you're going to lose. At some point, just win the game.
Oh my gosh, Ray, get out of here.
It's the small details. I remember the small battles that they need to win.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that.
A lot of people saying like pretty much EK65 is not signing if we don't win. I mean,
I don't really care. It's at this point.
But you know what?
I'm not worried about. Again, I don't care if he signs or not right now. I care what we do in Game 4.
I care about right now, first of all. And secondly, you know what? Even if they do lose this series, I think what it comes down to is we don't have the magic crystal ball. You can have your opinion, and that's great. Maybe other people have their opinion. I think Erik Karlsson's opinion is going to be, how much are you paying me?
Yeah, no, I totally think. And
right? And if Gus Nyquist has anything to do with that, because you said he wanted to have Nyquist on the team,
People are
right?
asking about that too.
yeah,
Okay, if that is a bargaining chip for him, and we say, look, here's what we'll do. We're going to do everything in our power to sign Gus, but we only have so much money. We need you maybe to take a little bit of a hit. Is he willing to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not.
If he has some say and kind of maybe not say in the management or getting the players, but if they respect his input on getting players, like I'm pretty sure they did on him getting Nyquist, right? I think that goes a long way.
somebody asking, or somebody said, I'm going to try to do this real quick.
It's Rollison, not Robinson.
No, Stevenson Yee here. I don't want to lose Meyer or LeBanc because Karlsson extends.
We're not losing Meyer. He's a RFA, so he wouldn't be going anywhere.
But you might be losing Pavelski, right?
Actually, LeBanc's an RFA too.
Yeah.
Right. So you wouldn't be losing those guys, especially you wouldn't lose them for nothing. How about that?
Yeah. They're worried about the offer sheet.
Bob Jackson, Sharks are playing soft. Game 1 was the only game all year where they were consistently finishing checks and played aggressively. But I will say I like finishing checks and I like playing aggressively, but I don't like playing aggressively to a fault where you are getting basically as soon as the puck changes direction, everyone's behind the play except for like one guy. But that's, like you guys said, that's Vegas's game too.
Yeah.
So
Vegas has done a really good job of counterpunching, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of the odd man breaks are from counterpunches.
But it's like what does they say? Every hit is an investment on the series.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we've had almost 3 games now, almost 300 hits total, right? Probably like what, 270 ish.
Insane.
Nuts.
I mean, that's an aggressive amount of hits.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking, "Oh, is this more of a rivalry than the Kings now?" And it's like after this series, it might be, considering how much these teams are just going at each other.
Well, and it's funny, right? Because how much of a rivalry is it? Yeah, it's huge, especially right now because the Kings aren't in the playoffs, right? There's no one else to hate right now.
Thank you for
Can you
reminding
imagine
me.
if Calgary wasn't where they are and it was the Kings instead, and we'd have to face the Kings after this, right?
Yeah.
I still think the Kings would be a big rivalry because they'd be in the playoffs.
Sure.
Bigger than the Vegas team. So
Yeah.
It's because what have you done for me lately?
And I'll say this real quick. I'll say this: is it that it's a bigger rivalry with the Golden Knights, or is it that we are just so
rivalry.
fed up with the way that the Vegas Golden Knights fans?
Well, no,
you know what I mean?
I know, and I'll say this too, because like if you look at, they put up a graphic on during the game,
Okay.
and it was like most goals allowed in
Yeah.
2 years, and it was like we're already at the top of the list with this team.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Well,
that's
Yeah.
my entire commentary. It's just
Their style of play is to counterattack the Sharks,
Yeah.
and it works.
Yep.
all right. I mean, we got maybe 2 more minutes.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Drew Daddy doesn't even deserve Drew Daddy money. They're saying, yeah, Karlsson wants Drew Daddy money, but Drew Daddy doesn't even deserve Drew Daddy money.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You got another comment? Or?
No, I'm just trying to catch
you're
up.
going through?
We're at
Okay.
that point where I'm
Here, how about this? We'll
Go
everyone tell us where you're watching from.
No, that's
how you
good
found it.
actually,
Always a
because
fun
that'll be a
way to
fun
get
one to
down
end
there.
on even.
Right.
And spam.
And give us your predictions for the score for the next game. How about that?
Why are you going to bring that upon yourself?
No, don't do that.
Why are you doing that?
I want to know.
75-2, Jones sucks.
Where are you and what time is it? Because I did my math wrong last time, so I want to try to get caught up.
Oh, what time is it?
Yeah, because we got people watching in Europe, and in Europe, I believe it is now 9:00 p.m. tomorrow.
They are 8 hours ahead.
AM, yeah.
Is it 8?
Or 9?
9 p.m. They have to be in like Hawaii or something.
Is it 9 hours ahead or 8 hours
first.
ahead?
No, I said 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, sure.
Whatever.
Well,
this guy's in San Diego. That's easy. It's 11
that's
p.m.
Good.
All right, so we got San Diego, Portland, Oregon,
cool.
Stockton, downtown San Jose. Hey, that's cool.
No, Jason.
Ottawa, 2 a.m. Whew. Vegas, still in Sacramento. Illuminato. You're never going to leave, are you? 75-2 with Dell with 1 goal. Wait, 75-2 with Dell with a goal.
Maybe they meant to say in.
Watch it from Arizona.
7-0 San Jose.
Steal my predictions, pal.
All right, okay. Vancouver, 7-0 San Jose. 3-2 Sharks in a double overtime.
Ooh, that would be a panic-inducing, stress-inducing game for sure.
Yeah.
Branham and Pearl, hey neighbors.
Oh, hey.
That's John Doe.
Patterson, California. South Dakota.
Wow, South Dakota.
Vancouver boy.
It is entertaining. I was talking to people saying like, look, we got it's amazing because you would think like, oh hey, everyone tell where we are. We're 10 feet from you. We're 20 feet from you. Yeah, exactly. It's like no, I'm in I'm in Calgary or I'm over in what was it, Belarus last.
Someone's in the future. It's Australia, 4 p.m. on a Monday.
It's almost time to get off work.
Okay, so then they'll be able to tell us what the score for game 4 is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Northern Quebec, 2 a.m. It's a long ways away.
Wow.
Josie,
I do miss the Nordiques. I love the jerseys.
Another Ottawa.
It is. I do appreciate everyone just, especially because it's like you got to. Obviously, they are subscribed and they've notified and click that bell and all that fun stuff. So
Jordan wants
that's
to know what I do to keep my head that shiny.
You shine a very bright light on it.
Turtle wax. And
I just had that too.
What do? Genetics. It's just good genes.
Yeah. Just white and very bright lights in here.
Paul, how are your shoes today, by the way?
Oh, the shoes are great, man. They're getting a little spots and stuff dirty. I gotta wipe them down, but no, they're good. They're comfortable. So.
If Vegas doesn't score in the first 30 seconds of the game, the Sharks win 4-3 in Game 4.
If Vegas doesn't score in the
5-4 final overtime, Dell makes 40 saves.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
5-4 final overtime. Oh, I just read that one. 4-2 Sharks. I'm gonna say 5-2 with an empty netter. So it was like 4-2.
4-2 empty net. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna predict the score. I just want to see them play back to the way that we saw them play in Game 1. Not because they won that game, but because they played well in Game 1. I can take a loss if you're playing the game the right way. But if you're just doing what you're doing tonight was.
See, I'm the other way around. I'd rather see them get their butts kicked and play awful, because if they play well and they lose, they're not going to change anything in the next game, and then they lose again. I'd rather see them have it blown up and come out and play completely different.
I don't know, man. You go back to like the Kings series a lot of times where, I mean, almost every game for like 3 years in a row was a 1-goal game or an overtime game where it was, 1 goal. Those games, you didn't have to change much. You had to just execute a little bit better. Yeah. You had to get that one extra save,
And I wish it could be as simple as the executing a little bit better. But from what I saw tonight, it was executing. Just straight executing.
Move your feet.
Moving your feet, exactly, man. I didn't see it tonight. And again, I don't like calling out players saying that there's no effort, that they don't care. I don't believe in that. If they didn't care, they wouldn't be playing in the NHL. I don't believe that. So I think the effort is there, but it's just not translating to the legs. It's not translating to them being hungry enough for the puck like they should be for whatever reason.
Jordan Marley wants everyone on the team just stand in front of the net for the first 5 minutes of every period. He just says first 5 minutes, but I'm thinking for every period. And Alex A says 0-0, nobody scores, nobody wins. Or everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Participation trophies.
4-3 with Thornton with the game winner despite being suspended. That's funny.
Yeah, Rafi Torres will be suspended.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's my favorite thing.
Joe's about to say Rafi Torres.
Exactly. I always bring him up,
If the Sharks switch to Dell, they are done.
You know what, though? No, they're not. If the Sharks switch to Dell, they lose, they'll be down 3-1, and that's when I would rather have Dell going in. I'd rather have Dell go in when you can have a mulligan and still be in the series.
The NHL will want another game in Vegas. That's not true, because if that were true, the NHL would want more games in Tampa Bay and in Pittsburgh. So I don't believe that. There's no conspiracy.
Yeah,
there's no conspiracy.
I don't think there's a conspiracy. I just think there's
basketball. I think they do that. I think basketball is controlled more by refs than hockey.
I don't know. I would just I watch basketball and I couldn't tell you because I don't understand about it enough because I don't understand what's a call and what's not a call.
Oh, me neither.
But
I'm starting to get that way with hockey though.
Well, no.
Like what's goalie interference and what's not anymore, right?
I don't know. I saw you think about the Holtby, right?
Well,
Holtby actually got contacted in the blue, and they didn't call it.
What's holding if not holding somebody for 7 seconds?
Pinning them.
Yeah, like what? I don't know. I'm just confused. I understand that you don't want to be the difference maker as the ref. I get that, but I mean, at some point, man, you got to call that stuff. If anything, for player safety, right? I mean, I don't know. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like what I saw from the refs. I didn't like what I saw out of the Sharks. I mean, the Golden Knights played extremely well. So there's just nothing that I liked from our side of the coin, right? Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jason is giving me the helicopter sign, I believe, which is the wrap it up. So, Aaron, if you got a couple more things, and then we're probably out of here.
Jumbo. Someone thinks that Jumbo's going to get 4-game suspension. I think that's too much for playoffs. Playoffs, they usually cut it in half.
He's not Rafi Torres, right? Rafi Torres on that shoulder-to-shoulder hit got what, 3 games or something stupid?
Yeah, no, we won't. I wouldn't be surprised to see him gone for a game.
I wouldn't. Yeah, and we won't know until tomorrow because they're not playing until what's today? Sunday. Tuesday.
Now you sound like me.
If today was Sunday?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I was the one.
My days of the week are.
Okay.
I was the one who thought. Yeah, you know.
A lot of work.
Congratulations on being done tomorrow.
Yes, thank you. I tax accountant, so tomorrow is my celebration day.
Yeah. You got to join that guy in Australia where it's already 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. How's it going over there? How's my life look in Australia?
All right.
Yeah, when he's going all over the place,
by the way, you guys,
Sunday is at Wednesday. Like,
so real quick,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I want to bring up, you guys talk 10% off everything in the store right now, right?
And that's on a banner now, I believe, at the top. excuse me, of our website.
It's right here. That's right.
And it's down there. So yeah, playoff mode. You get 10% off of your entire purchase, which actually was awesome because we saw a bunch of people take advantage of that during the last live, which is cool.
Plus, each purchase is going to come with a signed sticker
until we run out,
and not signed by us, signed by the Sharks players.
Unless you want it signed by us, in which case, of course.
Oh yeah,
I'll help you out.
Just put that in the notes. We'll sign it. But Paul's gotten a bunch of stickers signed at Sharks practices, so we're going to throw those in randomly, and that's with every order. So 10% off plus a signed sticker. That's not a bad deal.
Not at all. And make sure that you are following us on all of the socials. So we have Facebook and Twitter at The Fin Factor. Instagram is at Fin Factor because of some 12-year-old. And
we also have a Reddit page,
a
subreddit, if you will, The Fin Factor.
Is it r/The Fin Factor? Okay, cool.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Luminato, by the way, wants to know if he can give you money and then you can walk to the San Jose store to get this stuff. Because I believe the ones behind you are only available at the arena. I think
so. Yeah.
I checked sites and I didn't see them. So
yeah, we checked a couple days ago.
Anyways.
Yeah, only at the arena.
Oh yeah, only at the arena. I think is what they said. So yeah, maybe we'll do a giveaway or something after all of this is said and done. I don't know.
Maybe after next week they'll be on a sharp discount at the Shark
Oh.
store.
Anyways.
Thanks, Aaron.
Too soon
for that vote of confidence.
Bring back Marshall.
And real quick, quick question: does Fin Factor continue whatsoever happens to the Sharks in the playoffs? I think you guys said you're going to take a short break. You're going to take some sort of break, spend some time with the families on these kind of nights, and then you try to continue on. You guys are playing EA.
There's just not much to talk about, really. Yeah, we'll plug that too. There's just not much to talk about if the Sharks happen to lose this series or the next series or whatever it is. There's just not much to say, right? Unless something happens. If there's a signing or a trade or whatever. I mean, that's
signing, trade,
anyway.
firing, but you can't.
If there's something that happens with the Sharks, sure, we'll reconvene and throw an episode out there. But for the most part, there's really nothing else going on. So. I think what we'll end up doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe even during the off season, like when we started doing this show, we were in the off season. We just were coming up with things to talk about. I'm not sure that we'll continue doing that because a lot of it was story time, and we've ran out of stories. So I'm not sure what we're going to do.
For sure, this summer we'll cover the draft.
Yes.
And
free agency,
free agent signing, which is July 1st.
Yeah.
So probably like a couple days after that, or depending if the Sharks sign someone big.
And then there's after free agency, there's some time where between then and preseason, which if something happens between that time, we'll again reconvene and we'll shoot something. But
we'll probably
otherwise,
get some interviews around then too.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That's when we had Rennie Hahn on.
Yeah.
Early, like before training camp started. I think right before training camp started.
Yeah. And we might, I'm not going to say it, but we might have some cool stuff, some surprises for like preseason type stuff. So we'll see. But in terms of just constantly coming on every week when nothing is happening, probably not. We'll probably just take a bit of a break here. But
do you watch the Stanley Cup Finals?
I do.
Jason just asked.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I love hockey. Period. I mean, the Sharks are my team.
Maybe we'll do something in the Stanley Cup Finals. We'll probably do a show, like just a show.
I'm for it.
I mentioned just of course because we're going to be watching the Sharks, right? So
right.
Well, yeah.
But anyways,
okay. So I guess that's it. The one thing I do want you guys to do is subscribe to the channel, obviously, because when we do go live, you guys get those notifications as long as you've hit that bell so that you know when we are going live. And again, this for me is like the best part of the show. Being able to sit down and chat with you guys live, it keeps us on our toes. It's not like we have anything scripted really anyway, but I mean this way it's challenging, right? Because we're taking questions that we haven't thought of, and somebody comes up and says something to us, and we have to kind of on the fly come up with a response. So it's been a lot of fun, and we really do appreciate you guys joining us, being a part of the show. This is really what the whole premise of the show is: three friends talking, right? Me, you, camera. Everybody behind the camera is the third man. So being able to actually get the comments from you guys has been awesome. So again, thank you guys so much. You make these lives possible and fun.
We do have an EASHL team if you're playing EA Sports NHL 19.
PS4.
On PS4. Just search for TFF for the team abbreviation. It's the Fin Factor. Paul's on there. I'll probably be joining soon, hopefully.
He's waiting for the price drop on NHL 19. I'm on there. There's 6 other guys that have joined in. Nobody's played a game yet. I'm more than happy for you guys to just happen to see somebody else's online and just go for it. I'm not at all concerned with the record. Again, for me, it's just being able to play house in the arena. So the more stuff we unlock, the happier I will be. So feel free to jump on there, get all your friends if you want to. It's open to the public. Jump in there, just start playing some games, and hopefully I see you guys in there, and it'll be good.
A lot of good comments about people thanking us for this because it helps them
help to
after
heal
the game.
Yeah.
Yes. We got
somebody asked if you guys could do the guided meditation. We'll work on that.
These interactions help calm us all down after the game.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. You two behind the camera. It's therapy. Will you get NHL 20? Yes.
Yeah.
And we will start a team on there as well.
We might have something special going on with NHL 20 as well, so stay tuned for that. If you have not subscribed, you're going to want to so that you can hear about that stuff. So please do. Having said that, again, thank you guys so much for making this possible and joining us and doing this. We really do appreciate it and love it.
Help spread the word if you got other Sharks fans that would be interested in watching the show too.
That would be helpful.
We love growing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're enjoying it, maybe a friend of yours thinks the same way, would enjoy it too. So having said all that, thank you very much for joining us. We are going to go ahead and jump out of here now and then lick our wounds. So for Super Producer Jason, Super Key Grip Joe, I am Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we will see you guys
in 2 days.
2 days.
Well, for one for Australia.
1 day for Australia. Bye-bye.
Bye.